How is it going, guys? Drew Peacock here, back with another video, and I had a different video ready to upload today, but it got copyright strike, so me and my editor are going to go through it and see what the hell is up with that. It's a good one though, one that I think you guys will definitely be happy to see. But anyways, today I have to upload something, and I figured, you know what, when in doubt, just post some racing. Everyone loves watching people race, especially when it's cars that are super relatable. We're not watching like Lamborghini Huracans versus 1,000 horsepower Honda Civics. No, we're going to watch some races from the street car scene. If you haven't seen them, or you haven't seen one of my videos where we use their content, it's a very cool page on Instagram, and they post races. You could submit your own. Go ahead and check them out. I'll link them down below. This is not sponsored. He's just a very cool guy. Anyways, today we're going to look at some races, and we're going to see if we can guess the winner. If you get all of them right, you will get a cookie. I'm just not supplying said cookie. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, first set of racing is going to be against a 5th gen Camaro ZL1 with an intake and a resonator delete. The resonator delete, depending on the construction, probably didn't do shit except make it sound bad. He's going to be going up against a 335i with Pier 600 turbos and E85. My money is on the 335i. I feel like that's an easy dub for him, but let's see. Yeah, he pulled away pretty easily. The first clip, I don't know what the hell I was watching. I couldn't tell if they were racing or if he was just doing a racer flyby. But in the second clip, you can clearly see that the ZL1 jumps ahead, and then the Pier 600s start to spool up and then just easily go past him. Now, if this guy had a front bumper, or his full front bumper and a fender, he'd probably be a little faster because he'd be a little bit more aerodynamic. But as of right now, that salvage title 335i still took the dub, so that's pretty solid. All right, next up, let's do an RSX. It's a stock K20 Z1 turbo DERF tuned versus a Civic Si stock K20 Z1 turbo self-tuned. So we have a professionally tuned one versus a Civic with a laptop. Is the Civic with the laptop gonna do better? You know what? I'm gonna root for the underdog on this one. I'm gonna say yeah. Alright, we don't need to keep watching the Civic wipe the floor with the RSX. It's pretty clear this dude knows what he's doing with a laptop. He might be good at using that incognito tab, but at the same time, he sure does know how to tune his Civic. This comment said he knew the K20 was going to win, and I have to side with him on that one. At the end of the day, one of them was going to win. I'm really happy to see that some dude in his garage actually was able to pull it off. Not only did he win too, but he put fucking lengths on him. Like right away, dude. Started pulling away. So if their mods are identical, that's one hell of a tune. Let's take a look at some American muscle. Some kind of slept on American muscle cars too. We got a C5 Corvette, one of the more slept on Corvettes. A lot of people like them, but when it comes to Corvettes, more people lean towards the C6. My feelings are pretty similar to that too. I'd probably prefer a C6, but the C5 is still a sick car. Versus a Pontiac GTO, something that you just wouldn't bat an eye at if you didn't even know what it was. It doesn't look like anything super special, just looks like a shitty Pontiac from the early 2000s, but these bad boys came with a 6-liter V8. From factory, they make about 400 horsepower, but this guy is cammed in bolt-ons. The C5 is simply just bolt-ons. Oh, you have a bit of a weight difference, a bit of an aerodynamic difference, but I think it's going to come down to driver. And I think the cams will probably level the playing field. So this should be a pretty close race. I think I'm just going to say Corvette, though. Engineering is going to be there.
On you! On you!
This guy is racing in the most relaxed style ever. Homeboy has his hand at the wheel at 7 o'clock. His other one is just chilling for the most part. Homeboy has no cares in the world. And he did win. He did pull away. He's got the radio on too. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me, but I do not race with the radio on. I want to be able to hear my car and hear if this shit's about to explode. And he's on his phone. Oh, I guess he was checking the preview on the GoPro. Oh, he's got something else on his left? Oh, never mind. Something jumped. Is he going to reel him in? Let's see. Is he reeling him in? Oh, he's getting pulled on. He's getting pulled on, but he was reeling in the GTO on the last clip. Slowly but surely. So it is pretty even, but it just seems like, yeah, weight probably jumps the Corvette out ahead and it just steadily just chugs along. So I was a little bit right. I thought it was going to be closer than that, but yeah, it just goes to show power to weight difference. That's what really matters. All right, let's do something cool. Let's look at this F80 M3 with downpipes and E85 versus a C7 base with nitrous, and it's a manual. C7 base, it's one of those cars where it's like, yeah, it's cool, but like the Z06 exists and it looks way better and it's way faster, so just get that. Or at least get the Grand Sport. I mean, the Grand Sport looks cooler. I just don't like how flat the C7 looks all the way around. Like, there's no thickness to it. Anyways, these F80s, they're pretty quick. I mean, they do some pretty ridiculous shit with some light modificating. Light modificating. I don't know what the fuck I just said, but yeah, light modifications on the F80. I think that's gonna take the cake. The E85, I think, is going to slaughter the C7. But let's see. I thought it was going to be a slaughter. I thought homeboy was setting up his friend to go to the butcher, but no, it was pretty even. They got to about, what, 140, and then they just let off. Pretty even the whole way. If the Corvette rolled up his windows, he might have had the little bit of an edge without the extra drag created, but it's still a really fair race. Really close. Crazy to see. I don't know at what point this dude was spraying, because it didn't really seem like his car jumped all that much, but maybe right here, a little bit, starting to inch up. Not really. I don't fucking know. Maybe he's shooting like a 25 shot. Maybe he's not even shooting. Maybe his passenger is just fucking inhaling it. Who knows? But either way, good race. All right, we'll do a dig race. Dig racing is probably the ultimate form of racing. I don't do it because I don't like putting that stress on my own cars, and I just prefer going extra fast than accelerating extra fast. That's just me. But anyways, we got in a Mark V Supra with downpipes, a JB4 and E30. Versus an F-150 810 3-liter Whipple on top of the Coyote. These Coyote F-150s are monsters, especially in the all-wheel drive form. It's pretty much like a baby Trackhawk, especially with a Whipple. I gotta say, I gotta give it to the Coyote truck here. I gotta give it to him. Well, I was wrong. I thought the all-wheel drive and the supercharger was going to just launch this F-150 into space. Now, what I will say is the Supra got a really good launch, and I mean a really good launch. Like, he was on top of the fucking tree, just like perfect. Like, let's take a look at this. I'm gonna try to pause it when he goes. Okay, watch. Okay, barely turned fucking. Well, I was gonna say barely turned green, but barely lit up the light. Dude's already moving. You saw that? Supra already moved. Dude still isn't even moving. Barely started moving. You see that extra millisecond? That could have saved him. Could have saved him. Starts pulling ahead too, and then the Supra just gets in front of him and stays in front. It's in front of him by like half track. So that Supra's pretty damn quick. I almost feel like though he was almost sandbagging, because if you look, he doesn't stay that far ahead. Either the Whipple just starts fucking working extra hard, or he just he gets him by a car and a half, about 2 cars, I'd say. I'd say a car and a half in my opinion, but doesn't stay all that far ahead, you know? So I feel like maybe he was letting off at the end. Didn't want him to know how much extra he had in the tank, you know? Either way, good race. Good job for the Supra for winning. Surprised me. All right, we'll do one more. I want to do one that's kind of like random, kind of quirky, you know? Kind of goofy. This is kind of goofy. Would you ever expect a Genesis 3.8 turbo 6 psi 8-speed transmission and an exhaust to go up against an early model GT500 with an intake, exhaust, and tune? I'm gonna, if I had a vote, I mean, I want to stick with my guts and say the Mustang's gonna win. But these GT500s from back in the day, they're just not all that. Especially with just an intake, exhaust, and tune. I mean, you might have gained an extra 30 wheels from, you know, the factory tune, but it's not all that. I think the Genesis is gonna come out on top on this one.
1, 2, 3.
The first one was super close, like neck and neck, super close. Both of them moving pretty good, but I mean, let's see if we can predict who won. I don't know. It looks like maybe the Shelby's pulling ahead right here, barely. Yeah, at that point the mirror of the Genesis was at the rear of the door for the Shelby. So the Mustang got the first one, but by a fucking nutsack hair. The second one, though, different story. Either the Genesis guy started spraying, he might have ejected a passenger from the back or something, but he somehow was able to just kind of pull away pretty steadily. Oh, they rolled up the window. You know what? I think that was the difference. Look it, they rolled up the window. See that? See how much difference of a race it'll make? Pretty significant if you ask me. Either way, good shit for both of them. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully I can figure out how to not get my video copyrighted, but I'm going to have to go and work around some shit and see what I can do. If you guys want to see that video, it's going to be very cool. Hit that subscribe button. Anyways, hopefully you guys got as many right as I did. I think I only missed one, maybe one or two. So let me know down below how many you got right, and if any of these cars surprised you. Subscribe to see more videos like this one, and until next video, peace.